So I'm standing out here. We had to stop and get Starbucks as usual. And I don't know exactly what city we're in. Forgive me. We have been on the move a lot here recently. But we were sitting inside and we were working on putting together some videos and getting ready to bring you guys some more updates and information. And the Starbucks employee, she comes to us and says, "Hey, we're closing here in 5 minutes. You guys, the lobby's closing. The drive-thru will be open, I think, for another 2 or 3 hours, but the lobby's closing, so you guys got to go." And we're like, "Okay, no big deal. We'll go." And we weren't really prepared for Starbucks to be closing this early. The coffee shop closing midday. I don't know. I feel like the coffee shop, they stay open later, as the day goes on and people get, they get off work, they're a little tired, they need a little pick me up. But ultimately, they have a labor shortage. They have a labor shortage, and additionally, they're just not turning the profits and the revenues to bring the profits that they were once used to and need in order to maintain the operations at the levels at which that they had previously prior to the pandemic. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because we were just recently in Seattle, and we actually visited a Starbucks, which you may have seen the video that I posted, and where we witnessed someone panhandling on a corner as she was actually. The reason why I started recording is because when we walked around the corner, I saw her sitting there on the ground with her sign and the child, and the sign reading that she needed some money or something. But I didn't read the sign until after I read the sign. I looked up at her, kind of like as I'm walking up behind her. She didn't know I was coming. I walk up behind her as I'm reading the sign. I look up at her, and she's on her iPhone. I'm like, man, this is kind of odd. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of strange. It's like you're sitting here begging for money, but you have an iPhone. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. If you guys want to know more about it, check out the video. Previous video. It's probably like 2 or 3 videos old, so check it out. And the thumbnail's got a picture of a woman sitting on the street corner with her kid begging for money. But ironically, there was just a news report released that Starbucks is going to be closing 5 stores in Seattle due to crime concerns. Now, this one here in particular, let's see if I can show you guys what they have here on the door. So this one here in particular, Coos History Museum. So I guess we're in Coos. I don't know what Coos, C-O-O-S, Coos. And so the Starbucks is going to stay, the drive-thru is going to stay open, but the door says, you guys can see, it says, our lobby will close at 5 p.m. Please visit us in our drive-thru. They're still open. The drive-thru is still open, so you can still get coffee through the drive-thru, but they had to close inside. They start cleaning up. And but like I said, ironically, we were hit at a Starbucks in Seattle, and the news release just came out today that they're going to be closing these stores. And let's see here if I can read this to you. It says Starbucks is going to be closing 5 stores due to crime concerns. And it's one of these, the store that we were actually at, it says 400 Pine Street. So you got 23rd and Jackson Avenue, you got East Olive Way, or 1600 East Olive Way, 505 Fifth Avenue South, 400 Pine Street, Roosevelt Way, and Northeast 65th Street, Airport Way, and Highway 99, Everett. I don't know where that is, but anyway, they're closing due to crime concerns. But this one here is actually, this one's not a crime concern, at least I don't think. They're not planning on closing. It actually looks pretty much brand new, but they just don't have the labor to run this store, nor do they have the revenues and profits to justify keeping the store open for the extended hours that we were once used to at Starbucks. And this is just how the economy, these are the changes that we're seeing in the economy. And, as a result of inflation, inflation drives up everybody's price, okay? So, like I said in my previous video, what do you do when you get hit with inflation? All right, so you and I, the average Joe, not in Congress, not having the ability to adjust interest rates and change the monetary system, you have two choices. First choice being you don't buy anything. That's a highly unlikely choice. And then the second choice is you make more money. So in this particular instance, the cause and effect here is that the people, the customers, the patrons that once would visit Starbucks and spend money and time, and it was a great place to sit, chill, relax, get some work done, use free Wi-Fi, a clean bathroom, are now getting hit with inflation so hard that they're not spending the money. They're just not buying. The people aren't out making more money, despite what Mitch McConnell may think or what he may say as far as people and being flush with cash from these stimulus checks, which if it's you, hey, more power to you, but it's not me. I can guarantee you it's not me, at least not from stimulus checks. But the people are just not spending the money. Now, I don't know if they're out trying to make more money, but inflation is going to be around for a while. Bank of America has just released a statement that they expect us to see a recession here soon. We have a huge financial problem on our hands, and being prepared for SHTF is going to include your finances and money. Like, look, if we don't see war, if we don't see food shortages, but we do see higher inflation, possible decline in labor and an increase in unemployment, higher rent, higher mortgage, higher food prices, higher expenses in general, higher insurance, car insurance, homeowners insurance, renters insurance, whatever it is. If you keep seeing these are going to go up, shit's hitting the fan. You know, it may not be dire straits and life or death situations, but you know, not having the ability to feed your family and buy food and groceries and pay your bills and pay your rent and your mortgage and have a place to stay, be able to pay to send your child or your children to daycare or preschool or whatever it is, so that you can go to work and make money. You got to prepare for that. You got to prepare. SHTF 2022, SHTF 2023. Look, when you want to know, type it in on YouTube or even Google. I think I'm popping up on Google now. Kevin SHTF 2022, Kevin SHTF prep, Kevin SHTF 2023. Because it ain't gonna stop this year. It's gonna keep going next year, and we have to be prepared. We have to be ready for it. And you know, if you are in a service-based business like Starbucks, that is a non-necessity, you need to be paying attention, because your job is at risk. They're closing early. Eventually, they're going to start laying people off. Eventually, they're going to start closing stores. Now, granted, the 5 in Seattle are closing because of crime reasons, but at the end of the day, these business owners are deciding that, hey, look, it is not worth it to continue on. We're just going to shut the doors. The employees are going to feel the most pain. Trust me, they will. The owners of these franchises, they're going to move on. They're going to make money doing something else, and it's not going to involve the same employees. So if you run your own business, own small business, and I know for a fact, I received an email from someone who says, hey, I run my own small business. I think it was like plumbing or something. And he goes, hey, my calls are not what they used to be. My calls are down. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, I used to be heavily involved in construction, okay? And I chose a particular trade in construction because that trade was a necessity for the most part. Now, there are some trades in construction that aren't really a necessity, and plumbing is actually one of them. So if your house, if your toilet is running, you know what's gonna happen? Most people are probably gonna let it run and their water bill is gonna go up, and you know, they'll just complain about it. Now, others will more than likely just turn the valve off every time they're done using the toilet and turn it back on when they need to use it again. And there's other ways. If you have a leaky pipe somewhere, you may put a bucket underneath it to collect the dripping water, but plumbing is not a necessity for the most part. So it leaves you vulnerable as this trade, as inflation starts to really take a toll on people, and not getting increases in their pay raises, increased compensation and salaries to combat inflation, as we wait for Jerome Powell's now defunct money printer to try to reverse his effects with higher interest rates and wait to see inflation stop, slow, and reverse. Ultimately, as we experience some deflation here, people are going to start pulling back more and more and more. And it's not just going to be on coffee at Starbucks. It's going to be on what you thought was a safe industry, what you thought, you were going to use to feed your family and pay your bills, through plumbing, through electrical, through landscaping, through all these different things that people are going to continuously reconsider, trim back, cut back on. And you got to realize the writing is on the wall. I want you guys to be prepared for everything that's coming. So just to give you a heads up, Starbucks, I think is on the chopping block. Not, something that I would worry about big picture right now. But, like I told you guys before, when we're out at the farm in Mississippi, when we start seeing Chick-fil-A have issues with food shortages, and you go to Chick-fil-A and Chick-fil-A tells you, oh no, we're out of something, that's going to be a huge factor and a key indicator that we're approaching a major problem when Chick-fil-A has a shortage. So with that being said, Starbucks is going to be on my list, and there's probably a few others. Some of these, Love's was actually on the list too when they made that announcement that they were expecting to see some fuel shortages this summer. And, so there's going to be a few major companies that I'm going to keep an eye out for. And, if we start to see them cutting back, closing early, laying people off, increased amount of shortages, menu changes, look, you got to pay attention, okay? Please pay attention. Do the best you can to prepare you and yourself. And hey, look, also, last one I'm gonna leave you guys with. It's not just about you. It's about your family. It's about your kids. It's about your grandkids. It's about everyone else. It's not just you. A lot of people are emailing me, and I'm gonna get to you guys as quickly as I can with information and updates to help you with your prep. But they're emailing me saying, hey, look, I'm 70, I'm 75, I'm 79, I'm 81 years old. And, I've done a lot. I think I'm doing all I can, but, please tell me, what more can I do? How can I better prepare for my kids, for my grandkids? They're thinking about the next generation, which is, I don't even really know what to say about that. Like, that I think that's part of why I've been compelled to share this information with you guys, is to help so many more people besides just myself. And so it's not just about you. It's about us all. And to think that maybe you're at a certain age or a certain point in your life where you can't do more, you can't make adjustments, or you can't recover from this, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's false. You can, but you have to want to, and you're gonna have to put the effort in, okay? So the only effort I'm gonna ask of you right now, hey, listen, pay attention. If you're still watching the video right now, I appreciate the effort that you've put into this information that I'm sharing with you. And just give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, turn on notifications, and share this video with somebody you think is going to be helpful to and helping them prepare for SHTF tomorrow.